Hi everybody, welcome to School of Scarlett. Today I have another message for you. It's no coincidence that you landed on this channel. You have a divine purpose, and that's why you're here on this channel. That's why you're here on this message. So this message is here to bring you something that maybe you need to hear today. So stay tuned to the very end so that you receive the full message. So if you are new here, I want to welcome you to my channel. I put out daily intuitive messages. So if you haven't already subscribed, take the time right now to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and come back for my daily intuitive messages. Okay, so in the past, sometimes I would share with you like little animals and creatures that I was seeing that day in case it resonated with you. Sometimes these are intuitive kind of signs to us that we're on the right path. So some of the animals that I saw today is I have my two dogs. They're actually laying out here with me. They may come out and play in the pond in a little bit. I have my dog Blue and I have my dog Sarah out here. So if dogs are significant to you. And I was also doing some more gardening. It's something I've been really working on lately, and I saw a little yellow snake. So if a little yellow snake or snake resonates with you, I saw that today as well. Okay, so let's get into today's message. Today's message is really about taking care of ourselves because of the divine purpose that you do have. In order to fulfill your divine purpose, you have to maintain a clear channel. So we're going to talk about that here today. If you haven't already heard about my prophetic voice activation course, I have a workshop which is a prophetic voice activation workshop that I just put out. And this workshop goes along with everything that I'm talking about here today, maintaining a clear channel. Now, in order for you to get intuitive downloads, to really get clarity in your life, to really, get the clear messages and be able to deliver clear messages, you're going to have a clear channel. So one of the things that was coming through quite strong today was a theme around self-care. And a lot of it was around health. So you may be experiencing a health issue. You may be experiencing something in your reality showing you that you may need to take time to take care of yourself, to maybe slow down, to maybe do something for yourself that you haven't done in a while, or maybe you've been putting yourself off. Maybe there are things you want to do, want to start doing. Maybe there's things that you have, on your mind about self-care, but you've been putting them off, saying, I'll start it on another day. I have too much on my plate right now. This is a message to you, a confirmation to you that right now is the correct time to take the steps forward to go ahead and take care of yourself in those ways that you already intuitively have been receiving. So our body is clearly a divine vessel, but more so it's a temple. So it's the temple to which everything, comes from. So we must really take care of this temple, this vessel that we are given. And in order to really receive and to have, this holy kind of communion with the divine. If our temple is cluttered, if it's, messy, if it's dirty, if it's not healthy, then we're not going to be in clear communication and clear communication completely with the divine. We're going to have some trouble there. Why? Because the temple is dirty and cluttered. So think about it this way. What I'm seeing right now is like a window. So if we see that we have a window and let's say it's all muddy and dirty and it's just like, all foggy and stuff with different kinds of muddy things all over it, we can't see clearly out of it. We can't really see clearly out of that window. So we really have to clean the window. We have to really shine that window. We have to take care of that window in order to see through it clearly. So that's just like our own temple, our body. We have to take care of ourselves in a multitude of ways. And you may know which way is speaking to you a little bit more here. But, just in general, one of the ways that we can take care of ourselves is in our health, in what we eat and what we consume into our bodies, how much water we're getting, how much sunlight we're getting, how much time in nature we're getting, how much time in solitude we're getting. All of these things are very much important to the vessel. So begin to kind of tune into your vessel and see what it is that you need. If you're struggling with tuning into your vessel, if you don't feel like any sensations, sensitivities to things that you may need, or when you're feeling sick, maybe you feel disconnected, you don't feel it in your body, that's a clear sign that it's time to take some time away to self-care. We really are actually very sensitive beings, and the more that we clear our channel, the more sensitive that we get. Sensitive in a way that we can actually receive downloads and messages very easily, but also sensitive in the way that we can attune to our body and really feel when things are off. We'll get a slight headache and we know exactly what that means. We have a little bit of a stomach ache or something like that. We feel it immediately and we know intuitively what caused it, what it was, or what we're missing. But when we're not in tune to our bodies, we can actually go about our lives and not really pay any attention to the signals that our body is giving us until suddenly we have an emergency. And I know this because I've been through it quite a few times where I've ignored my body's signals to me, or I've been totally oblivious to them because I've decided to put my body off for something else until suddenly the body itself shuts you down. So it's time to really listen to your body, to really take care of yourself, to slow down. There is nothing that you need to do that's more important really than taking care of this vessel. Everything else will rearrange. We think sometimes that if we don't do this or that, then we're going to miss out. But we're really going to miss out when we actually get stopped by our body, by the health of things. So it's really a great investment to really invest in taking some time to yourself if that is what is calling you. So to have a clear channel, we really also have to declutter things in our minds. So we can't really receive a clear signal. You can think about it like a radio station. We can't really receive that clear signal when we're like on static, where we're in between things, or the station is getting cluttered up by things. Okay, if that station is getting cluttered up by things, we can't receive the clear communication. And that's just like in our bodies and in our minds. If we have our minds full of, worries, maybe it's, things that we haven't let go of, negative thoughts, negative self-talk, maybe whatever it happens to be, we are cluttering up our minds, and that is causing us to really have a blockage where we're not able to receive a clear communication, a download. See, the divine God, spirit is always here and now with us, always. And it's a short, there's no real distance to that connection. It's here now. You can think about it as Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, let's say you're in an area where there is Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi is working and everything like that. There is always Wi-Fi in that area. There is Wi-Fi. You can connect to it. But if you don't turn on your Wi-Fi signal, or if there's something wrong with your signal, or, there's something wrong with, the service that you use to connect to that signal or something like that, you're not going to receive it. But Wi-Fi is always there. So the divine spirit, God, is always here, ready to give you messages. But if your channel is clogged up, is disconnected, is, occupied into something else, you're not going to receive that connection. You're not going to receive that connection. And it's not because it's not there. It's because you're not connecting to it, because you haven't taken care of your temple. So this message really is to speak to us to take care of our temple, to clear it out, to really spend time in things that nourish us, that regenerate us, that really reconnect us to all that is. We are truly in connection to everything, and you can actually connect to God, Spirit, the divine, and absolutely everything that's around. We can connect through this tree, we can connect through the pond, through the pets that are outside, and that's what I really like to convey in this channel, is that, intuitive messages and communication is always happening everywhere, and that's why I share daily intuitive messages that come from my daily life. And my daily life isn't anything special. I'm just a typical woman here in Texas that does typical, stay-at-home mom type things. But yet communication is always coming through in many various ways. But the only way that I can get that communication and be able to communicate it to you is to maintain a clear channel. So people often say, what do you do for work and things like that? And to me, work can be something as simple as taking a walk, going outside and gardening, grounding myself, taking a bath, swimming in natural waters, playing with my dogs. All of those things nourish me and open my channel in a way that I can receive these intuitive downloads. So you, as you're watching this, can really connect maybe with some of that. And maybe for you, it could be a little bit different. Maybe there's other things that connect. Maybe you're really into music. I also like music, but it's not something that I always do. But, music can really open us up to a lot of intuitive messages, a lot of, we have to really get into that flow. So the truth of this is that there is a flow, and everybody's flow, kind of flows differently. Different things make it flow a little faster, a little slower, you know, depending on your preferences and likes. So what is your flow and what gets you flowing? So that's the question. And how can you nourish yourself so that you have a healthy flow in whatever it is that you're doing, rather than, you know, having something there damming it up? So think about it that way, that there could be a big boulder or something in that way that is not allowing you to receive clear communication. So the course that I'm putting on, the workshop that I'm putting on, the prophetic voice activation, is really a course to help you connect, to help you receive and be able to speak these intuitive downloads and really, you know, the prophetic word, because everything that you see around you is prophetic in a way. Like I say, we can connect to everything, and everything is speaking to us in some sort of way. So today's message is really about that. It's really about taking some time to clear that channel. So you can ask yourself today, what is something that I have been putting off? What is something that I can do to nourish myself today? Do I need to take some time away to reconnect, regroup, or to, you know, take some time to connect even further? Maybe it's speaking to you to take the prophetic voice activation workshop. And if it is, I have everything in my description. You can just email me at schoolofscarlett@gmail.com and you can get enrolled in this course today. So today's message really is one that I want you to really take in and really take a moment to take seriously. We can oftentimes watch these videos and we'll watch one after another, or you know, maybe you watch my channel quite often and you're used to watching the daily messages, but you watch them and maybe you move on and you do something else. But today I'd really like you to take some time after you watch this video and do something for yourself. Do something for yourself to open that channel, to really nourish yourself, to clean out that temple, because you are a divine being with a divine purpose, and I want you to know that. You have something beautiful to share here on this earth, each and every one of you. So if this message resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up, comment down below, share it with others. If you are new here, again, I want to welcome you to my channel. I want to welcome you to hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. To all my returning viewers, thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate your comments, emails, love, and support. Thank you so much. I will catch you on our next video.